Now, a look at recent trips to Fort Wayne Zoo with Wild on WANE.
Thanks for joining us on WANE 15 Plus. I'm Alyssa Ivinson. In the next half hour, we'll explore what's happening at the Fort Wayne Zoo through our Wild on WANE stories. After years of construction, the much anticipated Coastal Cove is now fully open. With its sparkling blue water, beloved sea lions, and new to the zoo harbor seal, the exhibit is already a fan favorite. Here's a look at what you can experience at Coastal Cove. The peaceful, majestic, graceful, underwater dance of Coastal Cove, bringing you eye to eye with sea lions and seals.
This has been 4 years in the making.
Earlier this year,
Finally putting the finishing touches on it.
Wild on WANE gave you an exclusive look behind the scenes before construction was finished.
All new rock work.
And now,
We're so excited to finally have it open for our guests to enjoy.
Coastal Cove is open in all its glory. What's been your favorite part so far?
I think it has just been seeing the kids come up to the glass and look at the animals and love the animals. And there's that educational piece that we've talked about before where people can now see the difference between a sea lion and a seal. When we only had sea lions, nobody knew, they thought they were seals, but now they can see the difference. And you actually hear people talking about that. No, that's a seal. You see the difference between the seal and sea lion. It's pretty neat.
Interactive displays also help kids see the difference in the animals. There's also all new rock work painted to look like the California coast. A lighthouse adds to the waterfall feature. There's a new shaded seating area to watch the animals, and the new sunning beach will help guests get closer to the animals than ever before.
We added the window right next to it so guests can go right up to the window and look at the animals.
That space will eventually be where the zoo adds a wild encounter with the animals. Until then, twice a day, you can watch a fun show as the keepers demonstrate the sea lion training.
Here comes the new guy.
So fun. Watching their excitement, it's amazing.
Really fun to bring the kids here. I mean, they're performing, they're standing up right now, looking adorable, and it's fun to just hang out and see them play.
Open only less than 2 weeks, Coastal Cove with sea lions Cassandra and Valkyrie and harbor seal Ronan is already a fan favorite.
It's beautiful. From what I remember as a kid, this is wow. It's just really beautiful, and I love what they've done with it, and love sharing it with my kids too.
It's awesome because you can tell the differences. So when we come here, because we homeschool, we get to tell them about the differences between seals and sea lions and how they can also cohabitate together, which is really nice.
I like the tank. This is a pretty big tank. I like the sea lions.
Part of Coastal Cove's renovation also included making the behind-the-scenes area much larger so they could house more animals. Another seal will be joining the zoo from Woods Hole, Massachusetts later this fall. Then next spring, 2 more sea lions coming from Canada, making 6 animals in Coastal Cove. Another new face at the zoo this year is African lion Kume. Wild on WANE met him when he had only been on exhibit for 2 weeks. New to the Fort Wayne Zoo, African lion Kume.
He's so big, so we've had to modify some of the doors to allow him to move through easier.
The 13-year-old, 475-pound African lion joins 18-year-old lioness Ina.
It's a long process trying to determine the perfect mate for her, but I think they picked a good one. As soon as we were able to get these two together, it was like instantly napping.
Kume, a gentle cat, very respectful of Ina's space.
Would exit the same area that she was in if she tried to approach him, but it's like almost as soon as we opened the door where they could be together, they just fell asleep. every time.
It's how Kume also interacted with his last partner at John Ball Zoo in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
He wasn't forceful with his snuggles or space. He was respectful to that female as well. So we knew we were seeing the behavior that he is just normally going to exhibit.
Kume's partner passed away last year, around the same time Ina's partner, Bahati, died from cancer.
How is this kind of a really good match for them?
They are both senior lions at this point in their life, just really looking for companionship. And yeah, we didn't realize that coincidence. It was so simultaneous that they lost their companions at the same time. For me personally, it's really great to see Ina with a companion because she's never happier than when she has somebody with her.
Bahati joined Ina in 2016 after male lion Bill died from a rare cancer.
There's a lot of grieving that goes on because, you know, he was here for a long time, same with Bill, and the amount of interaction that you have with them is very close. The team as a whole, it was really hard on them. There's always this kind of fear about how the next lion and how they'll live up to the previous one, but honestly, I think he stole the keeper's hearts very quickly because he's just so easy to love.
Ina and Kume, old souls, perhaps meant to be together for this chapter of their lives.
They loved each other like right away.
How would you describe Kume's personality? What kind of lion is he?
He is very gentle, very relaxed. It's really quite surprising how easily content he is with life. I'm jealous. Yeah.
What should guests expect when they come and get to see and meet Kume?
So honestly, exactly what he's doing right now. Every time I've went by here to check on them, and even when we've been really full in here with a lot of guests, he is laying there napping, just as he is, completely unbothered by people being around in his space.
The lions mainly eat a specialized diet of ground beef, but love treats too.
His favorite is goat's milk, and they just have it in like a little syringe where they can shoot it out and they can lick it straight from that. So he really enjoys being able to get that.
Kume and Ina, the African lion pair ruling the zoo.
Just looking at them, they have like an awesome presence.
One nap at a time.
They're just retired and just want somebody to hang out and nap with, and it is perfect for each other.
The Fort Wayne Zoo is involved in many conservation efforts, and one in February took zoo staff to the other side of the world. We traveled to the Mariana Islands for a look at how people in Fort Wayne are helping save birds thousands of miles away.
It was amazing. I kind of felt like I was on the set of Jurassic Park. You know, we were just out in the jungle.
Fort Wayne Zoo staff traveled from Fort Wayne more than 7,000 miles around the world to the Northern Mariana Islands and the tiny island of Rota.
About 1,400 people. Only place in the entire world that this species is found.
The Rota white-eye.
The Nosa luda, that's its Chamorro name.
The zoo veterinarian, Dr. Cami Fox, vet tech, Sarah Sloan, and conservation educator, Logan Sunday, were the team representing Fort Wayne in the larger effort of learning about and saving the rare birds.
Finding the bird out in the jungle, capturing them, and then we were studying them while they were in our care. So we were looking at what they were eating, swabbing them for pollen to see if they were pollinators. And really it's kind of a proof of concept, making sure that we could care for them because in the future they might do a translocation. So moving those birds from one area to another to make sure that they have a safe population in case there would be any sort of catastrophic event that would harm their population.
It's building on the trip Dr. Cami took last year.
On our very first day of capturing birds, we actually caught more birds than they caught the entire trip last year.
This year, the team from Fort Wayne, along with people from several other zoos and conservation organizations, caught 33 Nosa ludas to study, more than double last year's trip.
This is a really important project because they are only found in this one location on the entire planet.
After the birds were studied, they were released back to the exact same spot they were found.
I got to go out early in the morning. We had them in boxes, and then out in the jungle we got to lift the little doors, and they would kind of hesitate a moment as they were figuring out where they were, and then we would see them fly out into the trees, and they were quickly all chattering again with the other birds.
Zoogoers in Fort Wayne can get a little idea of what it was like to be in the jungle in Rhoda. Some of the birds on that island are in the dome at the zoo.
The Mariana fruit dove was one. When we were there, we were really intentional about using their Chamorro names, though. So that one is called the Tote-Tote in Chamorro. I was kind of amazed that when I was in the jungle on Rhoda that it really just looked like being back here in Indiana. We are so lucky to have this organization in our community that's connecting people right here in Indiana to species conservation around the world.
The trip to Rhoda wasn't just for conservationists to learn about the birds. It was also to teach the locals.
Because ultimately, Rhoda is their home, their island. So we were getting their input and hearing what they want to do to conserve their forests and their species.
From classrooms,
we actually got to teach all of the kids on the island of Rhoda, grades K through 5. We were going into their classrooms, teaching them about birding in their community, about Pacific bird conservation, kind of what the organization was, and then we got to show them how these mist nets work, where we capture the birds, how the bird care room worked, and how we were feeding them and taking care of them. So they really got to see the whole process.
To a community festival.
About 100 people showed up, which on an island of 1,400 is a significant portion of their community. And the same thing, we got to talk to everyone about why we're there and get that local buy-in. Ultimately, it's their backyard, their landscape, so what they want to do is kind of their choice. So we're there to really be a voice for that no saluda and get that community buy-in. What I loved as an educator was we were involved in the whole process, so we went out into the field and did mist netting and then could talk about it in schools. We took care of birds in the bird room and then could talk about it in the schools. And we're hoping that next year we can expand that with some field trips to a site on the island where we could maybe set up a mist net and have that hands-on experience. So we're just hoping to grow from what we've already done.
The Mariana fruit doves in the zoo's dome had 2 baby chicks this year, too. You can also watch our story on last year's trip to the islands right now in this story on the Wild on Wayne page on WANE.com. Now, another new animal at the zoo likes winter a little more than summer. Before it got too hot outside, we got to meet the new snowy owl. Harry Potter fans know Hedwig, but now meet Jasper, the snowy owl new to the Fort Wayne Zoo.
So they are just very different from most owls. Being that they are from the Arctic, they have feathers all over them and they're like meant for the cold. They're also the heaviest owl in North America. They're about 1.5 to 2 kilograms, so about 3 to 5 pounds. They're just different than other owls. So I think learning that not owls are exactly the same, like you might think, like the common ones we'd see in Indiana. He's just a very pretty guy. He still has his juvenile coloring, so he's only 1.5 years. Around 3 years, he'll probably lose most of his feathers and get that full white. The males are usually white and the females are a little bit more spotted.
Unlike many other owls, snowy owls are more active during the day.
Because they live in the Arctic where it's so sunny, they're actually diurnal, so you're seeing moving more throughout the day because they have so much sunlight out there. So he's pretty active during the day. They live in wide open fields, they don't really like forests and all that stuff, so they're fairly different from other owls that you wouldn't see them sitting in trees and in woods. They like big open fields. Hi, can I come in? There's the yawn. In the wild, they would primarily eat lemming, which are kind of like a small mouse or gerbil. They also eat some bigger things, but mostly the mice. They will sit and roost in a spot and kind of blend in because their color, and they can see up to like 2 or 3 football fields away, so they have very good hearing and eyesight for that. And they'll just swoop down. They're silent flyers like most owls and be able to just catch them. If they're small enough, they'll eat their whole prey, but if it's bigger, they'll tear them apart. He does have a funny personality, so when he's pretty motivated and stuff, he'll make little hoots and he does little beak clacking. It's been a little bit more frequent that we've heard it, so we think he's getting more comfortable with our care. And he always kind of looks grumpy, but that's just kind of his face.
Those watchful eyes don't miss much thanks to his head on a swivel.
Not 360 like some people think, but it is about a 270 degree. Owls don't have the ability to move their eyes, so that's why they move their heads so much.
Now when you visit the zoo, you too can experience the magic of a snowy owl. Jasper joined the zoo last October. The zoo's keeping him cool this summer by offering a lot of ice, fans, and air-conditioned airway and shelters. But when it's still too hot, Jasper will stay inside to keep cool. So they're apex predators in the ocean, and you can come nose to nose with sharks in the aquarium at the Fort Wayne Zoo. This year, 2 new sharks joined the group. Wild on Wayne takes you to feeding time inside the shark tank. The sharks of the Indo-Pacific in the Australian area of the Fort Wayne Zoo. Meet black-tip reef sharks, a zebra shark, and a tasseled wobbegong.
This is what your ecosystem looks like, and this is what it looks like when these animals interact. That's like our whole area is from Australia, so I think it's really special to have like all of these species, and we're able to talk about them and how they cohabitate, and so I think that's really cool.
The reef sharks have called Fort Wayne home for years, but now they have new names. No longer big and little, they're now Alira and Alora.
Alira, our larger female, she has 4 stripes on her left side of her fin, and then Little does have quite a different shaped like head, so it is smaller than Alira's, but Alora also has just 1 black stripe, kind of in that same area that Alira has.
This zebra shark is new to town. Flauta is 2.5 years old and not done growing.
She'll get a bit bigger. If you remember Valentine, she was a big girl. So she'll definitely get longer in size, and female zebra sharks actually are much larger than male zebra sharks.
Flauta is already flaunting a big personality.
If you are feeding her too slowly, she will spit water at you. She loves being like around divers. Like she likes the bubbles that come up from the rigs. So that's really fun to watch. And I just think like, just the way she moves is kind of funny. But yeah, she's really great to work with. It's been fun.
It's a bit of an I Spy game to find the newest shark. Arlo is a tasseled wobbegong.
We're always like, where's Arlo? Like no one ever knows. We do have a little spy glass upstairs that we kind of use to search around the exhibit, but most of the time we come down here and we try to figure out where he is because we kind of accommodate to him. So we have a lot of platforms upstairs that we can kind of walk around, and it's just making it easier to feed him off of that.
He's only 1.5 years old, and while he's 2.5 feet long, he looks a little shorter because of his curled tail.
He is kind of a bottom dweller, so he is on the bottom of our exhibit all the time. So we do have 10-foot-long tongs that we feed him. He is a ambush feeder, so you kind of see him hanging out, being very like calm, chill, but then during feeding sessions, he will actually charge the fish, and he has really big jaws and he just clamps down. Yeah, so it's like a completely different animal. Yeah, so I'm kind of excited for people to come see that, because a lot of times people are in here and they're like, well, I don't know where he is. But if you just give him some time, you'll kind of see him, you know, lurking around a little bit, but definitely during feeding sessions is the best time to see him and like his full potential.
Feeding time.
Capelin, herring, squid, and then sometimes mussels, so it kind of depends. But we do try to enrich them as much as possible so we can make ice treats for them.
Is also training time.
We have a PVC pipe with a yellow frisbee on the end of it, so that's going to be Flauta's station. So she doesn't necessarily have to touch the station, but when she is around it, that's when we are able to feed her. So the goal with that is anywhere around our exhibit, we're able to insert that station, and she's supposed to kind of understanding that she needs to go to that station, and that's kind of where she'll get fed. So the goal actually with all of them is to get them stretcher trained, because we do really care about doing those husbandry behaviors for them. So when we're able to get them fully stretcher trained, we're able to weigh them, we're able to do body conditioning checks.
The Shark Tank at the Fort Wayne Zoo, bringing the world under the Australian waters to life. If you're looking for Arlo, the wobbegong, his favorite spots are either right up by the glass under the ledge or between the two big corals in the middle of the tank. The sharks are fed on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. The times vary. And you may remember we told you in February that Valentine, the previous zebra shark, is now at Shedd Aquarium in Chicago as part of the National Species Survival Plan for zebra sharks. Now, that giant tank for the sharks and the other aquarium tank for the tropical fish have to be cleaned, just like you clean your fish tanks at home. Cue the zoo dive team. Wild on WANE now brings you an exclusive look under the water. Among the colorful fish in the reef, once a week, you'll also spot a scuba diver.
Which is fun. It's actually very satisfying.
The divers clean the tank and coral.
The algae does grow, so we use fake corals in our tanks because with the amount of fish that we have in there, they would eat all the live corals. So really just scrubbing that algae away as well as cleaning the acrylic so it looks really nice for the guests. And sometimes you can tell like the water gets pretty grimy afterwards. That's how you know you did a really good job while you were scrubbing. You're like, wow, this looks bad. Yeah. But it looks good, yeah. Then they backwash and it looks perfect then. Yeah. We also will vacuum the gravel that's in sharks and stingrays and just kind of get all that extra gunk out.
And also check on animal health.
If we ever had an emergency with a fish or something, a lot of times we'll drop a diver in to help catch up that fish for different reasons like that. It's also a really nice way to see the animals really close up. So when we're in there, we'll kind of like take a look at all the animals and make sure everybody looks good, looks the same as last time we saw them. So it's really kind of immersive. It's fun. It's mainly cleaning, but we get to do a lot of other things, which is really cool.
The zoo has 9 divers.
We also have members from all over the zoo, from the farm, from Australia, from Indonesia. We have an education person on the team as well. So it's a really cool place that everybody kind of can come together and like we get to work together, see people you don't always see. So I think that's a really cool aspect of the dive team.
And it takes a lot of training to be on the team.
So all of our divers are open water certified, whether through the zoo or different agencies. That's kind of the bare minimum is that certification. We actually require different first aid courses as well. So they're all trained first aid, AED, oxygen. So it kind of makes them a rescue diver of sorts as well. The medical clearance that we do is the same as like the fire department. So it's a very like thorough exam. And then they also have to do a swim test, a physical. There's a lot that goes into being on the dive team, but it's really fun once you get through all that.
There's also a lot of gear involved.
We're very floaty when we're in the water. You can't really just sink down naturally. So we add a lot of weights as well as our wetsuits make us a lot more buoyant.
And each dive takes several people, not just the one you see in the water.
There's a tender, a gallery spotter, a designated person in charge. There's like a whole team that goes into making the dives happen, which is really cool. Up here is Mitch as well. He is our tender, so he has the responsibility of watching what's going on up here. Since she's in there by herself right now, he would also be her rescue diver. So he has a rescue pack right here that if he needed to, he'd be able to jump in and get her out. And then downstairs, we also have a gallery spotter. She's really watching and just making sure that overall safety is good. So, you know, there are some like outcrops in the corals and stuff. So watching that line and making sure it's not getting tangled in the line. They're also always in communication with their tender up here.
All part of keeping the zoo's aquarium clean and healthy for the animals to thrive.
You'll see some group of us probably at some point when you're at the zoo.
The divers go into both the fish tank and the shark tank once a week, usually one on Tuesday and one on Thursday around 1:30. You can also see them snorkel in Coastal Cove and Stingray Bay, so look for the dive team on your next trip to the zoo. Around 500 volunteers help make Fort Wayne Zoo run smoothly. For one mother-son duo, their volunteer time, though, is also quality bonding time.
Oh, this is just the penguin bag, I think.
Mom Shannon and son Gavin Terrio.
THERRIAULT.
Do more than spell their last name together.
See if you can find Blue.
He's at the top.
Yep.
They're both volunteers at the Fort Wayne Zoo.
You having a good day?
Would you like to learn about the African penguins?
Gavin started volunteering first, last summer, as a camp counselor.
So I really like the camp counselor thing. I think it's really fun to teach kids about animals in the zoo.
It's really exciting when he comes home and he tells me about his day and tells me like the special moments.
So 14-year-old Gavin thought his mom should join him.
I asked Mom, hey, would you want to volunteer? Because it would be really fun, like once we're done volunteering, we could just enjoy the zoo.
When your teenage son says, hey mom, let's hang out together, it's priceless. And if you're mom, you know that once they get older, they don't want to hang out with you as often. So I'm going to treasure the next few years while he's still here and still doing this before he goes off to college. But I plan on to continue being a zoo volunteer as long as I can. It's always fun.
Shannon started volunteering last August, following in her son's footsteps.
Working in the commissary, helping prepare meals. I did a lot of penguin buckets.
She made a lot of the
a lot of penguin buckets. I would smell like fish every week.
I can confirm.
I have thawed thousands of pounds of fish. And then I just help out with whatever they need. If it's dishes, if it's putting things away, you know, just to take some of the load off the staff in the kitchen.
Their volunteer jobs don't always put them together.
We did do a Christmas camp together last Christmas where we both took on a group of kids together and hung out for the day together. But we're hoping to spend more time together this summer, being in the zoo and exploring together and, you know, just making people smile.
Somewhere where it's warm.
You're right. These penguins are from somewhere where it's warm.
The mother-son duo would encourage anyone to be a zoo volunteer.
Anyone that volunteers in the zoo is making an impact on the community, making an impact on the people that come to visit the zoo.
It's really fun to volunteer. Like, you could learn something about your favorite animal and be like, what?
We still learn new things every time we come.
They're not just helping other families have a great day, they're making memories.
Can we go to the gibbons? They're my favorite.
You want to go see the gibbons?
Yes, I do.
And giving back to a place that's always been so special to their family.
It's such a great place to visit. We've been coming since he was a baby. So, you know, for 14 years, we've spent many, many days. So you just feel like it's an honor to give back, to see the smiles on kids' faces and, you know, just the joy that the parents are having with their children. It's irreplaceable. So it's a special time.
A special time with special words from a teenager.
I love you.
Oh, thanks. I love you too.
Learn more about how to volunteer at the zoo in this story in the Wild on Wayne page on WANE.com. Now, Fort Wayne Zoo works year-round on conservation efforts, both here and around the world. In our next Wild on Wayne, we join some spring break campers for an up-close look at how they made new homes for some bees around the zoo.
I think we're gonna pack it here pretty soon. Okay, keep going.
Under the pavilion.
That's great. I love that.
In the Fort Wayne Zoo.
Careful, don't drop the straws.
Spring break campers.
Good job. Nice.
Are busy as bees.
I just kept measuring.
Cutting straws.
Cut just short of 4.
Cutting them in half without taking the paper off, and then we just took the paper off when we were done.
And filling boxes.
Can you put them in kind of straight?
Then I just started stuffing.
Making homes for bees.
It's for Earth Day, and we need to save the bees.
The 3rd and 4th graders built 8 bee boxes to go around the zoo.
Mason bees and carpenter bees, they search for built wood. So they're gonna look for things like this, where it's a lot of wood, and they can like kind of burrow into it. Trees, logs, things that we have around here. You might have seen them around like Giraffe Platform, because that is all built out of wood. So our goal is to build these things that are wood-based and paper-based, right, that they can then burrow into and use as their new homes. Essentially attract them away from maybe guest spaces, but also give them a spot, because we don't want to get rid of the bees, right? They're one of our many pollinators that we see around the zoos, but we want to give them a fresh home. So being able to give them a wood space that they would use naturally to burrow is like huge.
Conservation is one of the zoo's main missions. Part of that is teaching everyone that work can come in all shapes and sizes.
This is something I can do. I can't fly over to Africa and save a giraffe today, but I can build a bee box.
Zoo staff and adult volunteers made the wooden boxes, while the kids cut paper straws to pack inside.
I mean, it's so simple, but it's such a big impact for them to be like, we're making a difference at the zoo.
How many bees fit in a box?
Oh, that's a good question.
Learning why bees are important along the way.
They pollinate and they give us honey. Because they pollinate flowers, and without them, well, we wouldn't have food.
Lessons the campers carry with them.
impression here at camp for, I have 10, 11 campers, goes beyond 11 kids. It goes beyond the zoo grounds. It goes into our community. We're truly inspiring the next group of conservationists to like carry it forward. Go ahead and put it in the box, Catherine.
Super cool, and I get to save a lot of bees.
Save the bees! Save the bees! Save the bees! Save the bees!
A fun project you can try at home too. You can watch all of our Wild on Wayne stories anytime on WANE.com, and then join us every Tuesday at 5 o'clock for the latest story from Fort Wayne Zoo. Thanks for joining us here on WANE 15 Plus.